What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Chase for the Checkers. I am your host, Matty NASCAR, and this week we're going to be talking about the tricky triangle that is Pocono Raceway. Now, before we jump into that, I do want to do a quick review for Michigan. We got back at it. We got a winner, and we got not one, not two, but three top 10. So we had Denny Hamlin to win as the favorite, but then we got Eric Jones, and then those Spire teammates of Daniel Suarez and Carson Hocevar. Really good day. Got another checkered. I say this every week. I need to get an official count. I took the flags down because I think I might have ran out. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do there. That's going to be maybe a weekend project here soon. But that was Michigan. Now we're on to Pocono. I'm going to try to move this along pretty fast because I am getting to recording this late. But I do want to start off with something else as well before we jump in. I apologize. I did not shout out my guy Ryan last time, so I want to make sure I do it. All of these picks are coming after I am looking at all of the stats that Ryan puts out from his heat charts of average finishes, speed rankings, driver ratings, all this stuff right here. That is what I am always using whenever I am making my best informed picks. He's got more than that too. Like, he has his average running position of last year's race. He's got the results that have stages and like the average speed and all of that stuff. So a lot of good things. If you're interested, definitely want to shout him out. Give him a follow. But we're going to jump into Pocono now. I know I did a couple things first. We're going to start off with a prop that I love. Props have not loved me lately. They haven't been very good. I've tried a couple group bets. They have not went well. I have tried the laps led and average, I think, speed, and that hasn't worked well lately like it did early in the year. So I've only got one prop this week, but I really, really like this one. That's Chase Elliott, top Chevy, plus 370 on DraftKings. It is no secret that the Chevys have not really been up to par. Hendrick is in that camp of Chevys that have not been up to par. But Chase Elliott seems to be the class of the field when it comes to not only Hendrick, but Chevys as a whole. Spire has been good. They have 2 wins, but Chase Elliott has 2 wins himself. So he's already going to be at the top of my radar. But then you look at the stats here. And I do want to say the stats are kind of skewed a little bit because if you remember, talking about Chase Elliott, in 2022, he got the win here, but it's after Denny Hamlin, who won, and then Kyle Busch, who finished second, got DQ'd. So all of these stats kind of take a little bit with a grain of salt. Everybody's been moved up kind of 2 spots because of Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch's DQs. So Chase has an average finish of 6.3. He's got a first, which is technically a third, then a 10th, 9th, and 5th. So still really, really good. I think I even put on here he'd be like the second in average finish behind Denny if they didn't get disqualified. So still really good here. He has a 6.3 average finish, like I said. He is 9th best average. 9th is where he would have his average finish if he finished 3rd in that race. But his average running position last year was 9.04. So that means he was running around the top 10 all day. He finished 5th. The next closest Chevy was Bowman, running at an average of 13.33. So all that to be said, Chase I expect to be up towards the front. I don't expect him to win necessarily. I think it's still going to be Toyota, but I definitely think he can be top Chevy. So that is my best bet for a prop. Chase Elliott, top Chevy. Moving on to top 10s. Got a lot of top 10s again this week. There's a lot that I really liked. And there's some long shots in here. You're going to see a trend of teams that I'm high on from just what I have seen recently. And why I think that it is starting to shift a little bit from maybe some teams that I was picking beforehand. So we're going to start off with one that I go to quite a bit, and that's Bubba Wallace at plus 145. He has been feast or famine here lately. and has not got good finishes, but he did get a good finish last week. I'm hoping that starts a new trend of getting these good finishes, of finishing the race. Wallace has he's had the speed, but he has been caught up in somebody else's mess like every week, it seems like. But if he stays out of trouble, I expect him to be contending for a top 10. His average finish is 14th overall at a 16.3. Average speed ranking is 19th overall, and driver rating comes in at 17th. They're not rankings that really jump out, but this track can loosely be compared to Indy, which we know Bubba Wallace has won. If you look right there, there's that winning car from when we were there last year. That car won. It is a track similar to Pocono, like I just said. So I expect him to be fast. Plus, he's in a Toyota. He's 2311. They're still fast. So I think Bubba Wallace, definitely a threat to be a top 10. Next guy I have, changing my tune. So before, I was pretty high on the RFK guys. I was taking them quite a bit. But I've seen something out of Penske here recently where they're starting to get some good finishes. So I'm putting my trust, and this could definitely bite me in the rear end, in Joey Logano at plus 150 on Caesars to get a top 10. Logano was dog water at the beginning of the season. We all know that. We all thought he was washed. He wasn't going to win a race. He wasn't even going to come close. He wasn't going to miss the chase. But he's been putting together some good finishes. There's a bug flying around, and I see it on the camera, and I see it around here. Get away. Sorry. Okay. It's not making for good videos. You son of... Get out of here. Anyways, okay. We're all going to ignore it. Ignore it. The 22 car has an average finish of 19.0. Not amazing, but where I get more convinced is the driver and speed rankings for him. He is been in the top 10 in speed rankings and top 15 in the last 3 races. He didn't have the finish he liked last year when he finished 16th, but was averaging a running spot of 12.67, which means he was up there near the top 10 for most of the race. Just something happened. I don't remember what. But I think if he can continue his success that he's had here recently at the last couple races and just his success that he's had at Pocono, he will be a contender to get a top 10. Moving on to Old Faithful here lately. That's Eric Jones at plus 270 on FanDuel. Jones has been one of the best drivers these last 3 races. The 43 car has had some real speed. He's coming off his best finish of the year at Michigan, where he finished 2nd. Jones has an average finish of 11.3, which is 5th overall. Jones has not finished outside of the top 15 in the next-gen era. That is really impressive. 13th best average speed rank and 8th best speed, driver rating. Jones should be in that 11th to 8th place range Sunday is what I'm expecting. But I wouldn't be surprised with how fast they've been if we see him further up the list. Like I said, we've seen him really put together some good races the last couple weeks. Has really been fast. Legacy seems to have found something as well. That's going to come up later because I'm heavy on a couple teams, like I said. So I like Eric Jones at plus 270 to continue that hot streak of top 10s. Moving on to another team that I've already talked about, but that is Austin Cindric at plus 550 on FanDuel. So I'm getting into some long shots here that I don't usually get into, but I really like this one. Cindric is also benefiting from the recency boost of speed. Penske has found Cindric has been putting together some good finishes as well, just like Joey Logano. Now, I'm going to base a lot of this off of just last year's race and what I've seen here in the last couple of races. Cindric finished 10th here last year while averaging a running position of 12.88. His overall average finishing position is 20.5, which is not great, obviously. His other stats are also not good, but like I said, this pick is going pretty much off of just last year's race. A guy who was averaging like a running position of just outside of the top 10. A lot of things can happen at Pocono. Strategy is going to definitely play a big factor. So if he can just run in that average position again this year, he's going to be contending for a top 10 at the end, just like he did last year at plus 550. I really like that. And again, I think Penske has found a little bit of speed. My final top 10 pick is one of the longest shots that I have had for a top 10 in a while, if not this whole season. That is John Hunter Nemechek at plus 1,000. And hopefully you have gotten the article, because I don't know if it's still going to be plus 1,000. Those types of long shot top 10s tend to come down quite a bit. But hopefully you can find it still at a really good number. John Hunter Nemechek, JHN, has been faster lately, just like his teammate Eric Jones. He's gotten into some more trouble, so hasn't had the good finishes like Jones, but definitely has had a little bit more consistent speed. And at these types of tracks, I know he's been good at Indy before. I think he's got a couple top 10s at Indy, if at least one. But he finished 6th here last year, averaging a 12.29 running position. He had 7th best driver rating last year and the 17th overall speed ranking. It will be a long shot. Is this my most confident pick? No. Because even when he's had the speed, seems to find trouble. But he has been known to pop off some top 10s that are just kind of random. Pocono and Indy are a couple of those tracks. So I like that number for a guy who's had a top 10 here, last year, to be at plus 1,000 is pretty good number. Moving on to winners. We're going to jump right into it. Winners, Denny Hamlin. Duh. That should be the whole thing. It should just say Denny Hamlin. Duh. Because he wins everything. He's on a hot streak. This will be a heat check for him to see if he's going to win 3 in a row and get hot. On another level right now. It's kind of crazy to think about how Tyler Reddick has 5 wins, won all those races early on, and if you asked us who's been the best driver, it's Denny Hamlin, hands down. I don't think anybody else would say Tyler Reddick at this point, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, plus 275 was not a wonderful number. Usually you see those types of numbers for SVG at a road course, but it's also kind of deserving, and still think you should take it. He's first in speed rankings, driver ratings, and he'd be first in average finish if they, didn't get disqualified. In average finish, though, he is 3rd. His last 3 races, first, second, but technically, without the DQ, it was first, second. So, he's good here. Shocker. Next guy I have is Tyler Reddick at plus 750. Reddick has cooled down a bit from his hot start, like I just said. But Reddick was going to be a contender last week until he got his first DNF of the season. And I think he'll be a contender again this week. They're still fast, as are all the Toyotas. And Reddick, aside from last year, has been great here at this track. He has a 3.3 average finish minus last year. He has the 6th best overall speed rank and 5th overall driver rating. So I expect the 45 to again be a contender to win and to get his first win at Pocono. He's got 2nd, 6th, and then that 32nd finish. But I've said it before a million times. A guy who's that close, eventually he's going to break one off. And he did that this year at Darlington. So I think Tyler Reddick can definitely get it done. Maybe that DNF fuels him. Another guy who's got some kind of baggage coming into the race, or not baggage, but just something that's going to kind of motivate him, I think is what I'm trying to say. And that's Christopher Bell at plus 850 on DraftKings. C-Bell had that terrible wreck last week. He's racing with a fractured wrist. Pretty crazy. But Brad Keselowski has won here with a broken foot or leg, I believe. And I think we see a similar story that could maybe unfold in front of our eyes with Bell and his wrist. Bell is another fast Toyota. He's got a 2nd place overall finish, or overall average finish, 10th place overall in speed rankings, and tied for 6th in overall driver ratings. Bell, I think, is going to really... he's going to be hurting, but I like to think there's going to be almost like a chip on his shoulder. So I really like Bell. I like that story. I always like storylines, and that would be a really, really good story, I think. So yeah, look for Bell in victory lane, and that storyline of, a week after the worst wreck we've ever seen, it's Bell in victory lane. Can't even hold up the trophy because of his wrist. Yeah, I can see it now. Moving on. Ryan Blaney, a multiple-time winner here at plus 1,100 on Caesars. He'll be another one to look out for this Sunday. Again, I said it in the top 10s. I think Penske has found a little bit of speed. But Blaney was the top of the Penske and really the Fords this whole time. He's been the most consistent, I would say. I know that they've had some troubles at those 1.5 miles, but still, I would still say Blaney is probably the cream of the crop when it comes to Ford. And here at Pocono, like I said, he's a former winner, multiple time winner. Blaney has finished first and third in the last 2 races here, while ranking top 7 in both driver rating and speed ranking. And I can absolutely see Blaney in that wonderful mustache back in victory lane again at Pocono. I know Ford hasn't been good, so do I think that he's going to beat all the Toyotas? Probably not, but plus 1,100 for a former winner here, like a recent-ish winner here, multiple-time winner here. And Blaney can absolutely just kind of, and Penske really can just show up and be like, oh, hey, guess what? We figured it out. So I like Blaney at that number. Another guy, the last guy that I have at a number that just kind of blows my mind. Anybody want to take a pick on what it is? Anybody want to take a pick on who I'm probably going to choose here? My guy, Chase Briscoe, plus 1,300 on... He was plus 1,300 on FanDuel. I didn't have that down. I'm sorry. This seems disrespectful to my guy. What are they trying to say about my guy here, huh? Plus 1,300 for last year's winner, and not even a fluke winner. He led the most laps, had the best strategy, and he's plus 1,300. He's in a JGR car. He's Toyota. Give my guy some respect. Sorry, okay, I gotta calm down. Recently, Briscoe has been in contention a lot. Think about Nashville. At the Coke 600, he was up there and fast there for a little bit. It's not like he's been out to lunch. 3rd best speed ranking last year, as well as 1st in driver rating. And 1,300, I smashed it. Hopefully you can still get that number, and it hasn't come down. I'd imagine a lot of people have seen this number, done the same. Hopefully you still get a good number. Disrespectful to my guy. Hopefully he proves them all wrong. Wins the race again this Sunday. But those are my picks. Let me know. Comment below. What do you think? Do you like the picks? Are you going to tail the picks? Or are you thinking, no, I'm going this way. I'm going with Chevy. I'm going with this. Whatever. Comment below. I'd love to hear it. Tell me about it. Tell me why I'm wrong. If you don't, I've said it a couple times, follow me on my socials. You'll see them in the corner here. You'll be able to find my other social medias. It's like TikTok, where I do some short videos about like race ratings, some flag stand stuff, where it's basically just a couple different takes that I have of the race. Follow me on there as well to see the Substack, where I do an article about this, where I give my picks a little bit earlier, so maybe you can get these plus 1,300, plus 1,000, picks before they go down. And also, just want to say thank you. If you are following, if you have shared, really appreciate it. Would like you to keep liking, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff. But you all have a great rest of your week. I'll be back Sunday for the post-race take show. Good luck chasing the checkers. I'm Matty NASCAR. This is Chase for the Checkers. See ya.